For the analysis, let's bring in Hyde, a Syrian columnist and research fellow at Chatham House. Thank you for joining us. In your view, why has this truce failed?
For many reasons. The most important one is that violating the ceasefire will not come with any consequences. And this is not the first time that this happens. The Syrian regime and its allies have always been trying to basically first prevent any UN resolution from being issued. The second one is that they will empty it from any meaningless by drafting a counter resolution. The third one is basically they try not to implement it on the ground by excluding some of the actors, and then at the end they will say we tried, and they are the ones who are resisting, and this is why we have to continue our military operations in order to take over the areas we want.
It sounds like a depressing failure all round. Was the UN vote at the weekend then completely useless?
It is, but this is not the first time, and this is what I'm saying, because all the UN resolutions have been not enforced with any kind of accountability measures in case any of the parties violate those resolutions. And this is mainly because Russia has always been trying to basically prevent any kind of measures taken against the Syrian regime. The problem here is that the other Western countries are aware of that, but they always think that basically issuing a weak statement and a resolution that might take place and might not take place will be better than nothing. But unfortunately, this approach will only make the situation worse, because it allows Russia to basically continue its military operation while presenting itself as one of the good guys.
Arsonist and firefighter at the same time, according to one American general. Do you think what happened today was some kind of Russian plan to try to flush out the rebels, or do you think it was more cynical than that, just a way of ignoring what had been agreed?
If you look at what happened in Eastern Aleppo almost over a year now, the Russians have tried the same tactics there. And when you look at what's happening now in Eastern Ghouta, it seems as if they are repeating not only the same measures, but the same statements. They started with saying that they are basically attacking Hayat Tahrir al-Sham in the area, Nusra fighters in Eastern Aleppo. And then they said that basically ceasefire or a deal in order to allow the establishment of humanitarian corridors to allow civilians out will be established. That didn't take place because people there, they don't trust that the regime and the Russians will protect them. And then at the end they said, we tried everything and the only way forward is just basically to take it over. And unfortunately they are repeating the same measures and steps in Eastern Ghouta, and everyone is watching and saying, oh, we tried and we cannot do anything right now.
So, depressingly, and it's sad to end on this note, but is this just set to continue until someone decides it has to stop? Are the people there set to continue to be bombed, to suffer, to have their lives put at risk, their lives taken?
Well, unfortunately, there is no way out of this, because even with what people are proposing right now to take place, which is the evacuation deal, in order to relocate those people to other areas, that is not even a possibility, because many of the other areas are not safe. And the regime seems to be determined in order to capture that area militarily. The only hope for people there is for the international community to put enough pressure on the regime to enforce, first of all, a meaningful ceasefire, and second of all, to be able to broker some kind of de-escalation zone that will be implemented for once.
We wait and we see, and sadly, the people in Eastern Ghouta are waiting under bombs falling around them. Hyde, thank you very much for your analysis. Thank you. That's Hyde, Syrian.